22 minutes before 7 here on Morning Live. Thank you so much for being with us. So after months of uncertainty about the distribution of social grants, yesterday the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Social Security, headed by Minister Jeff Radebe, announced that a deal had been signed between SASSA and the South African Post Office. The committee had to step in to resolve a deadlock between the two entities after they failed to sign an agreement following months of negotiations. In March this year, the Black Sash and Freedom Under Law applied to the court to ensure that SASSA and CPS don't enter into a new contract with terms that will allow CPS to make exorbitant profits, among other concerns. Joining us now from our Cape Town studios is Judge Johann Kriegler, who is the chairperson of Freedom Under Law. Judge, always an honor to have you on Morning Live. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers.
When Freedom Under Law went to court, the CEO, Nicole Fritz, said the organisation had a direct interest in the matter and asked to join the application. Why did you launch this application?
Well, we joined because we thought a certain aspect of the case had not been addressed sufficiently in the papers before the court. We were unhappy about certain of the aspects of the discussions that had been conducted, and we thought that we could make a contribution, and in the result we actually did make a contribution. And the Constitutional Court, in its order in March this year, incorporated some of our suggestions, inter alia the appointment of an expert committee to look at the problems that SASSA and the department were having, a committee that had teeth, had powers, and a committee that had to report back to the court as to progress, if any. So that kind of pressure is what we pushed for, and which the court actually then applied to the department, to the minister, and to SASSA.
Fantastic. So, in other words, what you're saying is that you think that it's been successful and that Freedom Under Law has achieved what it set out to do.
I would very much like to be able to say that, but it's very early days. Okay. We have not seen the contract. We do know that it is a very, very complicated process. The payment countrywide, on time, accurately, and to people who are entitled to payments and only to them and to nobody else, is not at all simple. I'm not sure, and we have not seen the contract, we are not sure that all of the I's have been dotted and all of the T's have been crossed. If they are, we will celebrate with the minister. At this stage, we are still a little skeptical. We've had very optimistic comments from the department, from the minister in the past. Let's just wait and see whether the vehicle is quite as fancy as the minister says it is.
Yeah. One of the issues that I know that Freedom Under Law wanted the court to do was to cap what cash paymaster services earn. In other words, not to exceed 16 Rand and 44 cents per beneficiary. Mark Barnes also talked about the reduction of costs. My understanding is that it is going to cost exactly the same. But then again, like you say, the contract is still not public. We haven't seen it, neither of you. So what is your understanding in terms of the cost applied to this now?
It's quite impossible for us at this stage to give any prediction, to make any comment on the likely cost under the new transaction. We haven't seen the details, and at this stage we retain a healthy skepticism about it. Let's have a look at the facts and the figures when they are made available, and we will then make a positive contribution as we have in the past.
All right, certainly we'll wait and see on that one. I want to also now just bring up another issue that you have expressed interest in, as in Freedom Under Law. It's the casework in favor of the Zuma, Nkasana and Abrams case on Friday. These events coincide with the country's constitution, as we have seen now. 21 years yesterday. What does this all say about the democracy in South Africa?
I don't think I have to be a prophet or a visionary to say that we are in a disappointing phase at the moment. Many of us, I think all of us who look forward to the new South Africa with joy in our hearts are very, very downhearted at the moment. But we've pulled off miracles before. We can do it again. I think that we're in a bad place, but with inspired determination by the citizens, as they showed in 1993, 94, 95, 96, we can produce the sunny uplands again.
Yeah. Indeed, but having said that, when you do look at the judiciary and some of the proclaimants from the judiciary, I imagine your hope still lies that this would and still is the all-seeing eye over the Constitution of South Africa.
You know, one of the reasons, in fact, two of the reasons why I am optimistic and a realistic optimist is that the judiciary has stood firm. The judiciary in the last 21 years has shown that it takes its responsibilities under the Constitution very seriously, honestly, fairly, fearlessly. The judiciary has acted as the guardian of the Constitution, and I'm proud to have been a judge, and I'm proud to be associated with the judiciary. At the same time, civil society has played its part. Civil society now, as it did before 1994, has exercised pressure, has exercised oversight, and has taken the government to court time and again on issues that it thought were breaches of the Constitution, and that will continue.
Fantastic. Judge, what a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for your views and your comments. Just on a closing note, any idea when you'll be able to set your eyes onto the contract between SASSA and the South African Post Office and other interested parties? Have you been given a time frame as yet?
We would love to see it today. There is no time frame at the moment. We will take the necessary steps at the Constitutional Court to get copies of all of the documents concerned. We will, as we have done in the past, have a close look at them technically, legally, administratively, to see whether they hold water, and we will then make our contributions.
Judge, thank you very, very much once again for your time. Judge Johann Kriegler is the chair of Freedom Under Law, talking to us about two issues, and that, of course, being the SASSA deal that Freedom Under Law were very, very involved in ensuring that the beneficiaries for the social grants were given the best deal possible, and then, of course, talking to us about the law and the Constitution and 21 years of South Africa's Constitution, and talking about the judiciary from that perspective. We take a break here on the program, and after this, we've got